Hello, and welcome back to Rosa Laura. If this is your first time visiting the channel, it's so lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, it's so wonderful to have you back. My name is Rosa, I'm a digital artist, and today I'm working on even more Artfight. I honestly, when getting started with this season, did not think that I would be doing a bunch of videos about Artfight or my attacks, but as my attack counter went up, I was like, wait, I don't think that 2 videos is going to be enough. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 videos. And here we are, video number 3. My patrons are going to see this recording on July 17th, which means that on YouTube it'll be July 24th, which means that there's only a week left in Artfight. Now, I actually will be out of town for some time in July, but by the time this video comes out on YouTube, I will almost be back in town, which is great news because it means that I can have even more fun doing Artfight pieces and attacking people. I love doing these attacks so much. I have done some things this year that I've never done before, including animation. My friend Sona, which is what you just saw on the screen, I wanted to do the alter ego animation meme that's been going around, so I put that together. In fact, I asked in advance. I was like, hey, would it be okay if I did an animation meme? And they were like, yes, absolutely. So that made me really happy. I also did a GIF for the first time, that little dancing fish that you guys saw in another part. I believe that was in Artfight Part 1, which was really cool. And I've also been doing a lot more background-less characters, which sounds like it would be like, oh, well, that's less work, but not really. It's just a different kind of work. I've also tried to attack people with a, higher battle ratio. They aren't getting as many attacks. I want to attack people who aren't getting attacked yet, but also I'm having a lot of fun just, attacking mutual friends and enjoying myself that way. I'd love to hear in the comments below how your Artfight is going. I know I asked this I know I asked this in pretty much every video that I make about Artfight, but I really am interested in your guys' experience. Especially because I've been doing Artfight. This is my 5th year, and I don't have TikTok. I try to stay off of a lot of different forms of social media. I barely use my Blue Sky, admittedly. I don't have Twitter, and honestly, I'm on Tumblr the most out of anything, which I feel like really dates me, but hey, I don't care. I'm an adult, and I love my Tumblr. And because of that, I've been a little bit more insulated from some of the drama. I know that there was drama when TikTok got really involved a couple years ago. And there's always drama. There's always drama in every community. But I hope that the drama has been good this year, or at least it hasn't been as strong or oppressive or overwhelming. So let me know down in the comments what's the tea, because I have no idea what it is, honestly. And the characters that I've been seeking out this year, other than just characters that some of my mutuals have been more tagged than anything else. I'm ooh, let's go for the scene tag. Let's go for the goth tag. Because I don't design a lot of characters like that, so it makes it really fun for me in order to seek out those kinds of characters, because it's not stuff that I would usually draw. And we'll get to see at the end that I have a couple of scene characters that I was able to find, and oh my god, I love them so much. Seeing characters with really bright and exciting color schemes and patterns makes me want to have a character like that, but it's not my usual character type, I guess you could say. Again, I know I talked about this in another video, but it's I'm a little pink and purple, kind of very feminine, but I also just love a rainbow color palette. I love it when it goes insane. This character, Jupiter, I love their design. It's just so simple and so elegant. So I really just wanted to take a crack at it. I totally sketch in those star earrings, and I'm still kicking myself because I forgot them. It's like the only aspect of the design that I completely forgot. I am very lucky in that the individual who has Saturn as their character, like, didn't really care. They were like, oh, like, you know, I mess up my own designs all the time. It's really not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And I was like, yes, perfect. They said in their description that they change things and mess things up all the time, so I'm in the clear. But I love celestial characters and the sort of, like, not monochrome color palette, but the very limited color palette made it interesting to work with. I also had to draw a lot of hair for this piece. It definitely reminded me of when I draw NAF and I have to draw 5,000 strands of hair. Maybe you've seen one of those videos that I've put on Shorts where I have just the time lapse of me doing 10,000 strands of NAF hair. I love NAF, but she's a little bit of a problem child when it comes to illustrating her. Not that it's bad. Not that it's bad. I chose it. I chose this life. I chose the life of 1,000 hair strands, and I'm going to have to deal with that. But when it comes to drawing other people's characters, I think that drawing her is a little bit more fun. Saturn is also the first character on Artfight that I've drawn that I've actually had to apply the quote-unquote, like, extreme nudity. So I'm going to have a little warning on this video as well. I'm sure you already saw it at the beginning. But Artfight's rules on nudity is, like, if there's any genitals, like, closed, unerect, then it is permitted as long as it's kind of like, be cool about it, guys. Be cool about it. And that seems to be the case for Saturn. I have the pubis mons there, even though there's nothing, like, showing. Obviously, it's all external, etc., etc. But I actually put on the moderate nudity filter and the extreme nudity filter. I think I was just trying to cover my bases. Which is really funny because the last piece that I did, which was Jim, who is an orphish, I looked at, his design and his outfit, and I was like, okay, how do I make this sluttier? So the dichotomy between approaches to different characters is so real. A little technique that I'll be using with Saturn, and I actually have used with some other characters I've been drawing as well, is doing an overlay layer with sort of this mottling of color to really bring out sort of variation in the base tone. It's not something that I've done super often, but I do think that it creates a really nice and layered effect, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So this character is Ash. This is the beginning of my delve into the scene tag, and I want more scene and emo characters. I want more goths. I might go into, like, the gothic Lolita tag by the time this is done. I love Lolita fashion. I love classic Lolita. Not as much into sweet Lolita. And I think Gyaru fashion is also really, really cool. But I wanted to do classic scene character, and Ash just seemed like the right play. Gave her the little, peace signs on either side of her head. It just felt very, mid-2000s. It screams 2010 to me. And that was very special. I've mentioned before that, like, I was a wannabe scene kid. I really admired the fashion. I had a little bit of, not like a jealousy, but I really wanted to be seen, and I didn't have the money for it, and I didn't want to bother my parents for the money for it. I was a very, like, money conscious child, as strange as that seems. My parents didn't want me to feel money conscious, but that's just the way it turned out. I love my mom and dad so much. I still have a very good relationship with them. Even though I did not shop at Hot Topic. I know, hard to believe. But I forgive. I don't want to say I forgive them. I hope that they forgive me for not making my needs known. So you know what? A lesson to all you art fighters out there. If you want to go to Hot Topic, if you want to shop at a specific place, tell your parents. And maybe they'll take you. Otherwise, you will end up like me, crying in the dressing room of a Target. Oh, my mom tried so hard, and I love her so much, but clothes shopping was not fun for me as a child. And honestly, I don't even know if I would have had fun if I went to Hot Topic. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But when I look at all the accessories, and I look at all the styles, It just seems fun to me. Maybe I just wanted to feel a little different because I felt so out of place as a kid. Maybe I have too. I don't know. But I think that going back to sort of seeing design characteristics and sort of these aesthetics helped me feel like I'm kind of cutting loose. I'm having fun. I'm feeling free. In that I feel like the aesthetic and the mindset that goes with these characters, they're not afraid to be themselves. And I think that that is part of why I feel so drawn to these characters and to these aesthetics, and just honestly to people with strong aesthetics in general. If you have a strong sense of like fashion or design for yourself, if you like love doing really bold makeup, if you really take pride in how you accessorize and put things together, then I'm going to have a lot of admiration for you, because I think that takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of time as well to develop a sense of self in a stylistic sense. When I was a kid, I definitely did not have that sense. It took me a long time, probably into my college years, to really develop what I wanted to do as my personal style. And honestly, I'm still figuring it out. I've talked about before with like my partners, my best friends, like how I wish I could have kind of like multiple different aesthetic closets almost. I wish I had, kind of like an academic closet, and I wish I had like a neon closet, and I wish I had like a soft autumn sort of closet, but I don't. A combination of factors, part of which is that I really don't want to support fast fashion. I try to like buy from slow and sustainable brands like Crowlines and Maya Kern, who I have definitely shouted out before in my drawing OCs in my clothes. Speedpaint, if you haven't checked that out, you totally should after this one. And, I also just don't have the closet space or the budget, by the way, or the budget. I try to be really cautious with how I spend my money. But I think that it's interesting in the idea that you could have somebody who has multiple aesthetics. I think sometimes we think about ourselves, or even maybe the people in our lives, as being one specific or concrete way. Oh, this is my friend that loves the color purple. This is my friend who's, a goth, so they wear all black. But I think that we need to embrace the idea that people can change. People can change their aesthetic and still be the same person. People can have fun in different ways and still be themselves. And, we shouldn't be defining ourselves by, the aesthetics that we wear, but we can still definitely have fun with it. As a general rule, never define yourself by something that's bought. Don't define yourself as the person who wears Gucci, or even the person who only wears thrift store clothing. Always define yourself by personality, the things that you like to do, the things that you like to, interact with, whether you're, a film buff, whether you're a book talk girly, whether you love to craft like me, whether you like to sew, whether you like to play sports or board games, whatever it is, right? And keep yourself elastic, Don't stop experimenting just because you found something that kind of works for you. Keep an open mind and an open heart. I think that's really important. But don't forget to be yourself and to have lots of fun, because trust me, it is the most important thing to be able to have fun with yourself. At the end of the day, when you go to bed, it's just you, yourself, and you again. So make sure that you take care of yourself and you have fun with yourself. Keep it stylish, keep it flexible, and make sure that you do the right thing by you. And I hope that with Artfight, you find the opportunity to express yourself in new and fun ways. You experiment, you have a good time, you look at things that you wouldn't have looked at before, and you find excuses to try new things. That's something that I definitely use Artfight for. And these backgroundless sort of little, or this jelly bean rather, this backgroundless little demon jelly bean is one of those experiments for sure. I love this design. The rainbow highlights and outlines and all of that good stuff. I loved putting the polish on this piece and a lot of the other pieces that I worked on over the course of these past, weeks now at this point? Wow. So I hope that wherever you are in your Artfight journey, you're having a ton of fun and you're using it as an opportunity to do some exploration. You're using it as an opportunity to attack your friends or to find new people in life to have fun with. No matter what you're doing today, I hope that you are having a really wonderful time, whether you're on Artfight or not. I want to thank my patrons that help me make art, but especially Banjo, Confocal Clips, Deator, and Fire Pit. You guys are the best. And of course, thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can take a look down below for another video. And if you like what I do, you can support me on Patreon. And remember, it's all gonna be okay. See you next time.